everybody. My name is Taylor. I hope that you're having a good day. I hope that you're having a great day. And if you're having a crappy day like me, I guess I hope that it gets just a little bit better, you know? It's nowhere else to go but up. So why don't we get started, shall we? Whoop. Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Grief Brief series. If you're new and you don't know what you just clicked on, as always, this is just a brief rundown. My mom died in September of last year, 2016. And I spent a lot of time recording my thoughts and feelings, and I've decided to share those with the world and sort of destigmatize grief and mourning and really allow myself to be exposed in a very vulnerable way so that you might feel less alone when you do grieve in your life. Whether that's now or 5 years from now, hopefully this helps in some sort of way. And that is what the Grief Brief is. So welcome. Today we are on episode 18, I believe. Wait. No. 19. We're on episode 19. Maybe. What are you going to see today? I had to move all of this stuff that was in my mom's house out of her house, or was an apartment. She owned a condo. I had to make the executive decision as to whether or not I would be keeping that, whether I would sell it, whether I would just let it go into foreclosure, whether I would rent it out, what was going to be my path. Me and my mom had talked about a bunch of different options, and we had settled on me renting out her condo. After she passed away, life got real, and it was then decided that I would not be renting it out. Primarily just because that would be a lot to ask of a 25-year-old. Especially because I don't want to live in the Midwest my whole life. So I needed to clear everything out. I had a big moving day, moved a ton of stuff to my apartment in Chicago. It was taking up my entire living room, which is over here. You can see my living room. Welcome to my house. All of this was covered with stuff. So that was crazy and was a lot of stuff to deal with. But I was going through all my mom's paperwork, all of her photos, all like these old pictures she kept and everything. And I basically just sort of like talk about the things that I find. To sort of be going through all of these things, I found like lists of things that she's always wanted to do in her life. I found a ton of journals and things about my like grandmother I never knew, all types of stuff that I just kept uncovering, which was really cool. So I'm going to take you on that journey and allow you to sort of see what I discover. So I hope you enjoy, and I will see you after. Bye-bye. I've looked better, I know. I thought I looked a lot cuter until I started the video. I moved a bunch of my mom's stuff into my apartment last week, and I am still in the process of unpacking a bunch of it. My roommate is being very kind and patient with me while I do this. And I'm mostly like in a hurry because this weekend we're having a Friendsgiving. We're just inviting a bunch of people over to eat food and prep for Thanksgiving. It's nice to have friends over and whatnot. Oh, that's kind of not terrible from this angle. Anyways, I'm going through, my mom had old scrapbook, so I'm going through it, a ton of stuff. There's just a lot of things here. Oh, what is this? I don't know if you can read this. I think it's backwards if you do it like that. Okay, this is some letter from, it's signed Morris. Moni. Either Morris or Moni. If it's Morris, that's my grandfather, which makes this way more interesting. If it's Moni, it's a lot less interesting. Anywho, it says, I comes up on if I don't makes it. I'll call you before I leave Milwaukee. So pray that I make it to the rest of the way. Love, Moni. Hope you can read this writing. Barely, man or woman, whoever wrote that. Barely. But anyways, I'm going through stuff, and it is a lot because I'm terrible. I'm really good at organizing, but this is just a lot to go through and figure out what to do with. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. It's a lot. I mean, a lot, guys. It's a lot. And I'm like finding little things I think I'll like take out of the pictures and give to family members and stuff, just to be nice. And because some stuff it's like, yeah, I want to keep, and then other things I'm like, this would mean a lot more to you than it would mean to me. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm okay. I'll play it for you. Actually, I'll play it for you now. There's a voice recorder. There's a voice recorder from my mom's house. Okay, I will. I'll play it for you now. Eventually, I promise it'll play. And that's it. I listened to that. I don't know, there's other stuff on there, and I'm just like unpacking stuff. We put up the Christmas tree. That's the Christmas tree we had at my mom's house. This is a stud muffin bone for Dash. She wrote Merry Christmas. I don't know if you can see it. Merry Christmas and love you on it. And then we each had these little ornaments. This one says Debbie. Can't see it that well. Debbie. And then this one says Sila, but it's backwards because I'm using the selfie cam. Yeah, we just put up decorations way in advance. Anyways, I'll check back in when I actually do more things. Bye. It's weird. I have a ton of like photo albums and like this scrapbook I've never seen before. So I'm gonna show you some pictures because they're cute. I don't know anything about the sport of boxing, but Marvin Gaye managed this dude who signed this thing for my mom. Cool. I literally had no idea that my mom knew how to do a backbend or that she took gymnastics classes. What? My mom showed me every picture she ever had, and I swear I've never seen this picture ever. Look. That wasn't focused, so that's better. Look at Debbie. Oh my god. Hair is laid. Yas. It is so weird going through like old, like super old type of things. It's so delicate and just takes you back. Low key, high key, my mom was hot. Yes. Yeah. I also found like all of my mom's old report cards. She was a terrible student. Like horrible. I found my grandmother's obituary. I found a letter my grandmother wrote to my aunt. I mean, a bunch of stuff I didn't even know my mom had. Mentioning how much I miss you. The thoughts of you came just as wonderful. You've been on my mind ever since we met. Too strong love for you, baby. I was my mother's baby in 1976. She was 20. Wishing for more than just the thought. Maybe that was her baby. You read? My grandma died 39 years ago, and they still put Negro on the death certificates. Cool. Also, my mom was in a band when she was in her 20s. They performed a lot in California. They were called Emanon because they couldn't come up with a name, so it was no name backward. This is the club that they played at on Wednesdays, and maybe other days I didn't actually. They played Fridays and Saturdays. They were popping. Anyways, really makes you think about what you're doing in your 20s, which is not much, Taylor. Not much. But yeah, this is really cool. That's all. Bye. Alright, and that is another grief brief episode in the bag. I'm not in the best mood today. I have had just a lot going on, emotionally and literally, that I just can't get on top of. So I wish you patience and empathy and support. Like I said earlier, it was a very enlightening process going through all of my mom's things. I really enjoyed it. It was a good time. Like, if your parents are still alive, or there's someone who's older than you especially who's still alive, I would say talk to them about their life. Try to get as much detail as possible, because the detail is really what's going to fill in things. I know a lot about my mom's life, but there's just so much detail I don't know the specifics on. And so going through that stuff's helped me find and figure out, like, sort of put two and two together and sort of create a more linear idea of her life as a whole. So I would recommend that you do that. If you know people who are still alive, like, go and ask them and get as much information. Do it, do it, do it, do it. You'll learn so much. As always, thank you so much for coming back for another episode of The Grief Brief. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, you can always reach out to me on any of my social media platforms. Those are listed down below, as well as some websites that I found really helpful in my grieving process and I still find helpful. And if I find new websites, I will update that, I promise. But you should check those out. It'll help you understand more about grief and understand what you may or may not have felt while you yourself were grieving the loss of a loved one. The Grief Brief comes out every Monday and Friday, so you can always be on the lookout on those days for new episodes. If you missed any of the past episodes, there is a playlist where you can catch up on anything you may have missed. If you want to keep up to date on everything that I'm doing, all the things that are coming out, and more than just The Grief Brief, you can subscribe to my channel. And that is all I have for you. Stay well, guys. I'll see you on Monday. Bye.